The rain hammered the penthouse windows like accusations, each drop a reminder of the storm I'd ignored for months. Elena's hand trembled as she handed me the glass of bourbon, her blue eyes flickering with something darker than the city lights below, fear. Maybe. Or the ghost of a lie she couldn't bury. "Amaya," she whispered, her voice cracking like thunder. "If I tell you everything, you'll hate me. But I can't lose you." I took the glass, my fingers brushing hers, and in that electric touch, I should have known. Love like ours wasn't built on rooftops and whispers. It was forged in shadows, the kind that swallow you whole. But I was too deep in, too tangled in her silk sheets and stolen kisses, to see the double life unraveling beneath us. That night, as sirens wailed in the distance, Elena's phone buzzed, a coded message from a world she swore didn't exist, and everything I thought I knew about us shattered like the bourbon glass slipping from my grip. New York City had a way of chewing you up and spitting you out glamorous, or so they said in those glossy magazines Amaya devoured on her subway rides to Brooklyn. 28. She was still piecing together her life as a freelance illustrator, sketching feverish portraits of strangers in coffee shops while dodging rent notices and the nagging voice in her head that whispered, "You're not enough." Her tiny studio apartment in Bushwick smelled like turpentine and instant ramen, walls plastered with half-finished canvases of fierce women, warriors, lovers, survivors, all with her own defiant curl to their lips. Amaya Rivera had come from the Bronx, raised by a single mom who scrubbed floors in Manhattan high-rises, dreaming of the day her daughter would trade crayons for contracts. But dreams in this city? They twisted into something sharper, hungrier. It was a humid August evening when their worlds collided at the Velvet Rope, a rooftop gala in Soho thrown by Vostek, the empire Elena's father had built on algorithms and ambition. Amaya was there on a whim, crashing with a borrowed dress from her roommate, a slinky red number that hugged her curves like a dare. She'd won a spot in a charity art auction, her piece Echoes of Exile fetching bids from tech bros who wouldn't know heartbreak if it pixelated their screens. She nursed a gin and tonic, sketching the crowd on a napkin, suits with empty smiles, women in heels that screamed conquer. Then Elena Voss glided in, all porcelain grace and effortless command. 30. She was the heiress everyone whispered about, Vostek's golden child, heir to billions in AI patents, schooled at Yale, photographed at Met Galas arm-in-arm with senators. Her platinum bob caught the string lights like a halo, but it was her eyes, storm blue, piercing, that pinned Amaya from across the rooftop. Elena wore an emerald gown that flowed like liquid money, diamonds winking at her throat. But there was a restlessness in her posture, a subtle shift like she was scanning exits instead of entrances. Their eyes locked during the auction's frenzy. Amaya's napkin sketch, a quick line of Elena's profile, fierce and fleeting, fluttered to the floor in the breeze. Elena bent to retrieve it, her manicured fingers brushing Amaya's ankle as she rose. "Is this me?" she asked, voice low and laced with amusement, holding the napkin like contraband. Close. She smelled like jasmine and secrets, her smile a curve that promised trouble. "Guilty," Amaya replied, heart slamming like a subway train. "You looked untouchable. Had to capture it before you vanished into the ether." Elena's laugh was soft, genuine, a sound that cut through the chatter like sunlight. "Untouchable? Darling. In this city, that's just code for lonely." She handed back the sketch, her fingers lingering. "I'm Elena. Amaya." The name felt small on her tongue, but Elena's gaze made it epic. They talked for hours, the gala fading into a blur. Elena confessed her disdain for the corporate circus. Daddy's kingdom, built on code that spies on dreams. And Amaya spilled about her mom's endless shifts. The way art was her rebellion against a world that valued spreadsheets over souls. By midnight, they were sharing a stolen cigarette on the fire escape, knees touching, the skyline sprawling like a lover's promise. "You're real," Elena murmured, exhaling smoke into the night. "No filters. No agendas." "God, I miss real." Amaya's pulse thrummed. "And you're a walking fantasy." "But fantasies break easy." "Not this one," Elena said, leaning in. Their first kiss tasted like gin and possibility. Elena's lips soft but insistent, her hand cupping Amaya's jaw like she was anchoring herself to solid ground. The city hummed below, indifferent, as two women from opposite orbits tumbled into freefall. Dating Elena was like stepping into a fever dream. Private jets to the Hamptons for weekend escapes, where they'd walk empty beaches at dawn, toes in the surf. Elena's head on Amaya's shoulder as she whispered stories of boarding school heartbreaks and boardroom betrayals. "I don't want his legacy," she'd say, voice raw. "I want something that matters, something mine." Amaya believed her, lost in the way Elena looked at her, like she was the only code that didn't need debugging. Amaya's world expanded in bursts of luxury she never imagined. Candlelit dinners at Le Bernardin, where waiters vanished like ghosts, leaving them to tangle fingers under linen cloths. Elena gifted her a loft in Williamsburg. "For your art, amor." No more ramen regrets. And Amaya protested, but the key burned in her palm like a vow. Nights blurred into mornings of tangled sheets in Elena's Upper East Side penthouse, a glass area overlooking Central Park. Elena's body was a map Amaya memorized, the freckles dusting her collarbone, the scar on her rib from a childhood equestrian mishap, the way she arched under Amaya's touch, gasping mi vida in a breathy accent she picked up from summer flings in Barcelona. But cracks spiderwebbed early. If Amaya had looked closer. Elena's phone was a fortress, always on silent, vanishing into her purse during meals. Late-night calls she'd take in the bathroom, voice hushed like contraband. "Business," she'd say with a shrug. But her eyes would dart, shadows pooling under them like bruises. Amaya chalked it up to heiress stress, the weight of Vosteka's empire pressing down. "You're more than that," she'd tease, pulling Elena close. "You're mine." Fall deepened, leaves turning Central Park into a riot of red and gold. They hosted a small Halloween party in the penthouse, Amaya as Frida Kahlo, flowers in her curls, Elena as a sultry Carmen Miranda, fruit basket hat askew from laughter. Friends mingled. Amaya's artsy crew from the Bronx, Elena's polished set from the Met. But midway through, Elena's demeanor shifted. A text lit her screen. She excused herself to the balcony, phone to ear, gesturing sharply. Amaya watched from the kitchen, pouring Merlot, a prickle of unease crawling her spine. Later, in bed, Amaya traced Elena's back. "Who was that? You looked like you saw a ghost." Elena rolled over, eyes soft in the moonlight. "Just investors. Pushing for mergers I hate." She kissed Amaya's temple, slow and lingering. "Forget it. You're my escape." Amaya wanted to believe her. God, she did. But that night, as Elena slept, Amaya slipped from the sheets and padded to the study. Elena's laptop glowed faintly on the desk, screensaver swirling with Vostek logos. Curiosity 1. Amaya tapped the spacebar. Password: Amaya Rivera 28. Her name a key to the kingdom. Folders bloomed: financials, patents, emails marked urgent, ShadowNet. She clicked one. Lines of code scrolled. Encrypted messages to anonymous handles. Extraction point confirmed. Funds transferred to offshore. Target: Vostek Q4 leak. Amaya's breath hitched. It looked like sabotage, internal memos twisted into whistleblower gold. Elena's digital fingerprints everywhere. Heart pounding. Amaya closed the laptop, slipping back to bed. Elena stirred, murmuring in her sleep. What are you hiding? Amaya thought, but pulled her closer instead. Love, she told herself, covers a multitude of sins. Winter crept in with its bite, snow dusting the penthouse like powdered sugar on a poisoned apple. Elena grew distant, vanishing for board meetings that stretched into days. Amaya filled the hours with commissions, a mural for a queer youth center in Chelsea, vibrant strokes of women holding hands against stormy skies. Her mom called from the Bronx. Mija. This Elena sounds like a dream. But dreams don't call back. Do they? Amaya laughed it off, but the words lodged like thorns. One December night, Elena returned from a trip to Silicon Valley, with frost in her hair and fire in her eyes. She swept Amaya into a waltz in the living room, Sinatra crooning from hidden speakers. I missed you, Elena breathed, dipping her low. Missed this us. They made love on the fur rug by the fireplace. Slow and reverent, Elena's whispers a litany of I love yous that sealed Amaya's doubts away. But the next morning, over coffee, Elena's phone erupted, buzz after buzz. She silenced it, jaw tight. What's ShadowNet? Amaya asked, casual as stirring cream, the words slipping out before she could stop them. Elena's mug clattered. Coffee splash. Dark as suspicion. What? Amaya met her gaze. Steady. I saw the folder. Last month. Code. Leaks. You're playing spy games with your dad's company. Silence stretched, taut as a wire. Elena's face crumpled, then hardened. It's not what you think. Amaya. Please. Trust starts with truth. Elena. Amaya's voice cracked. Or is that just for paupers like me? Elena reached across the table, but Amaya pulled back. Vostek. It's poisoning everything. Algorithms that track the vulnerable, sell their fears. I'm not betraying Dad. I'm saving him from himself. From us. Tears welled, but her chin lifted. ShadowNet's a network of insiders, leaking the rot. I fund it anonymously. If it gets out, I'm ruined. We're ruined. Amaya's world tilted. The woman she'd loved, the soft laughs, the beach walks, was a vigilante in Louboutins? Why lie? Why not tell me? Because love like ours doesn't survive spotlights. Or handcuffs. Elena's voice broke. I wanted you safe. Away from this. Safe. Amaya laughed bitterly. I'm in it now. Aren't I? Your dirty little secret. They argued until noon. Voices echoing off marble floors. Elena begged, stay. Let me show you, it's for good. Amaya. For the world we both hate. Amaya stormed out, coat unbuttoned against the sleet. But by evening, she was back. Forgiveness tasted like desperation. Their reconciliation a frenzy of kisses and tears. No more shadows, Amaya demanded. Fingers in Elena's hair. Promise.
I promise, Elena lied.
Holding her tight. But promises in New York? They melted with the snow. Spring bloomed. Tentative and cruel. Amaya moved into the penthouse fully. Her canvases crowding Elena's minimalist chic. They built routines. Mornings tangled in Egyptian cotton. Evenings at off-Broadway plays where queer stories unfolded like their own. Elena toned down the absences. But the phone still buzzed, classified. She'd say, kissing Amaya's questions away. Amaya dove into Elena's world. Attending galas as her plus one. Sketching boardroom sketches that captured the heiress's quiet rebellion. You're my muse, Elena teased. But Amaya saw the strain, the way Elena's hands shook signing Vostek deals. One April afternoon, Amaya's mom visited. Eyes wide at the opulence. This is fairy tale stuff. Mia. But even Cinderellas have midnight. They laughed over empanadas. But later. Alone. Amaya confided. She's hiding something big. And it's eating her alive. Her mom hugged her fierce. Love's not a rescue mission. Amaya. It's two people rowing the same boat. That night, Elena proposed a getaway, Positano, Italy, for her birthday. Just us, she said, dangling tickets like lifelines. Amaya agreed, packing dreams into a suitcase. But en route to JFK, Elena's driver veered into an alley. Quick stop, she muttered, face ashen. Amaya waited in the town car, heart uneasy, until shouts erupted. She bolted out, finding Elena in a shadowed warehouse doorway, handing a briefcase to a hooded figure. Cash? Data? The man nodded, vanishing into the gloom. Elena! Amaya's cry sliced the air. Elena spun, guilt etching her features. Amaya, wait. The car sped off without them, leaving Amaya stranded in betrayal's echo. She hailed a cab home, tears blurring the bridges. By dawn, Elena was at the door, drenched and desperate. It was the last drop. Shadownet's done, I swear. For us. Amaya let her in. But the fracture lingered. A hairline crack in marble. They boarded the plane anyway. Positano's cliffs a bomb. Azure seas. Lemon groves. Villa nights where Elena bared her soul. The double life born from a whistleblower friend's suicide. The guilt of inheriting blood money. I thought I could compartmentalize, she admitted. Wine-stained lips on Amaya's throat. You in the light. This in the dark. But you're my light. Amor. All of it. Amaya forgave again. Deeper this time. Their love a phoenix in the ruins. But shadows don't die easy. Summer scorched the city. Humidity thick as unspoken fears. Elena threw herself into Vostek reforms, ethical AI initiatives that echoed Shadownet's leaks, earning her dad's wary praise. Amaya's career surged, a solo exhibit at a Tribeca gallery, Veils of Voss, portraits veiled in code and color. Critics raved, a love letter to reinvention. Elena beamed at the opening, champagne flute raised. To us unbreakable, but unbreakable? New York laughed at that. Late one July night, Amaya woke to Elena pacing the balcony. Phone clutched like a grenade. What now? Amaya asked, wrapping arms around her waist. Elena's shoulders sagged. They're closing in. Vostek security flagged anomalies. If they trace it to me, then we fight, Amaya said. Fierce. Together. Elena's kiss was gratitude and goodbye. I love you more than empires. The next week, Elena vanished. Conference in Seattle. The note said. Amaya paced the empty penthouse, calling unanswered. Panic clawed. She hacked Elena's laptop again, irony bitter as bile. Finding emails. Meet at the docks. Final handoff. Burn after. Docks. Midnight. Amaya grabbed her coat, hailing a cab to Red Hook. The warehouse loomed, salt air sharp. She slipped inside, shadows swallowing her footsteps. Voices echoed Elena's, low and urgent. The drive has it all. Q4 projections. The surveillance beta. Leak it. And the empire crumbles. A man's laugh. Cold. And you're cut. Was? Or do heiresses play philanthropists for free? Then chaos. Footsteps thundered. FBI. Hands up. Amaya froze in the rafters. Heart a war drum. Elena. Cuffed against a crate. Eyes scanning wildly. The man bolted. Shots cracking like whips. Amaya's scream tore free as an agent tackled her. Who the hell are you? Elena's girlfriend. The words tumbled. Damning. Elena met her gaze across the flashing lights. Horror. Amaya, run. But running was for fairy tales. As zip ties bit her wrists, Amaya realized their love wasn't a dream. It was a detonation. Counting down. Interrogation room smelled like stale coffee and shattered trust. Fluorescent buzz. Metal table cold under Amaya's palms. She'd been separated from Elena hours ago. The warehouse raid a blur of badges and barked orders. Brooklyn FBI field office, they said. But it felt like purgatory. A no-nonsense agent named Reyes slid a water cup across. Rivera. Right? Artist. How deep are you in Voss's little rebellion? Amaya's throat scratched dry. Rebellion? Elena's fighting for what's right. Bosteka's a monster tracking kids. Selling privacy like candy. Reyes's eyebrow arched. Poetic. But harboring a fugitive? That's federal time. She tapped a file. Photos of Elena at drop points. Timestamps syncing with their dates. Amaya's stomach nodded. Valentine's in Paris. That romantic detour to a Parisian cafe? A handoff in the shadows. I didn't know, Amaya whispered. But it rang hollow. She'd glimpsed the edges. Chosen love over questions. Riz leaned in. She played you. Kid. Double life heiress by day. Cyberjoan of Arc by night. Shadownet's no charity. It's extortion wrapped in ethics. The door swung open. Elena. Disheveled in an oversized sweatsuit. Hair wild. Eyes red-rimmed. Amaya, she lunged. But agents yanked her back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Quiet. Reyes snapped. But Elena's gaze locked on Amaya's. A lifeline in the storm. I did this for us. For a world where we don't have to hide. They were released on technicalities, insufficient evidence for Amaya. Elena's lawyers swooping like vultures with injunctions. Dawn broke gray over the East River as they emerged. Elena's town car idling curbside. Paparazzi flashes blinded. Headlines already screaming. Voss heiress and FBI scandal? Get in, Elena urged. Hand extended. Amaya hesitated. The night's chaos replaying bullets. Betrayals. But Elena's fingers trembled, vulnerable. Human. Amaya took them. Sliding into leather seats that suddenly felt like a cage. The drive to the penthouse was silent. city waking to their wreckage. Elena's hand found Amaya's thigh, thumb tracing circles. Talk to me. Yell. Cry, anything. Amaya turned, rain-streaked windows mirroring her fury. You dragged me into your war without a map. I thought we were building something, us against the world. Not you playing God with my heart as collateral. Elena's sob broke free. ShadowNet started small, leaks to expose the tracking. But it grew. Dad's rivals funded it. Turned it dirty. I couldn't stop. Too many lives tangled. Whistleblowers. Families ruined by Voss algorithms. She wiped her face. You were my out, the one pure thing. I lied to protect you. Protect. Amaya's laugh cracked. I was arrested. Elena. Flashed across CNN like your dirty laundry. My mom's calling. Terrified. My exhibit? Cancelled. Because of your purity complex. The car halted at the garage. Elena cupped Amaya's face. Desperate. Let me fix it. Money. Lawyers, whatever you need. I don't want your money. Amaya shoved the door open, storming into the elevator. Elena followed, heels clicking like accusations. Sir. Amaya hurled her keys at the wall, canvases trembling. I want the woman I fell for, not this ghost. Elena sank to the floor. Back to the island counter. That woman? She's still here. Scared shitless. Because loving you means risking everything. She pulled a USB from her bra. Lethal. This is the kill switch. All the evidence. Scrubbed. I was ending it tonight. For us. Amaya stared. The drive glinting like a false idol. She knelt. Taking it. Fingers brushing Elena's pulse. Why didn't you trust me sooner? Because trust got my friend killed. Elena's voice hollowed. She leaked too much. Too soon. Jumped from a bridge. I swore no more casualties. The confession hung. Heavy as grief. Amaya pulled her close. Their foreheads touching. I'm not a casualty. I'm your partner. Or I was. They clung there. Sobs sinking. Until exhaustion claimed them on the kitchen tile. Dawn filtered through blinds, painting stripes on their entwined forms. When Amaya woke, Elena was cooking pancakes. Absurdly domestic. Batter splattering. Truce? Elena asked, plating with a shy smile. Amaya ate, the sweetness cloying. Truce. But we talk everything. No more vaults. Elena nodded, relief flooding her features. Everything. Rebuilding was jagged, like mosaics from shards. Elena dismantled ShadowNet publicly, press conference in the Vostek atrium. Voice steady. My actions were misguided attempts at accountability. I resigned from the board. Effective immediately. Headlines flipped. Heiress turns whistleblower on self. Her father, steel-haired Victor Voss, issued a terse statement. Family matters resolved internally. But his eyes at the funeral home dinner that followed? Ice picks. Promising payback. Amaya stood by her, sketching Elena's profile during the chaos, defiant jaw. Eyes alight with fragile hope. They therapy shopped. Couples sessions in a Gramercy brownstone. Unpacking lies like luggage. My double life was armor, Elena admitted one rainy Tuesday. Daddy's expectations. Society's gaze on queer heiresses. Act straight. Or at least silent. ShadowNet let me fight without the spotlight. Amaya squeezed her hand. And me? I was your rebellion too. The best kind. Elena kissed her knuckles. Messy. Real. You make me want mornings. Not missions. Amaya's art evolved, exhibits blending Elena's tech motifs with raw emotion. Circuit hearts. Installations of wires pulsing like veins. Sales boomed, galleries clamored. Her mom warmed to Elena over Sunday dinners in the Bronx. Victor Voss a ghost at the table. She's got fire, Mom said later. Like you. But fire burns. September brought heat waves and heat-seeking drones, literal and figurative. Elena's reforms inspired copycats. Anonymous tips flooded her inbox. Voss Securities closing ranks. Watch your back. One night, returning from a MoMA fundraiser, their cab swerved, tires screeching. A black SUV ramming the rear. Glass shattered. Amaya's head cracked the window. Blood warm on her temple. Elena dragged her out. Into a storm-drained shadow. Stay down. Sirens wailed distant. The SUV idled. Then peeled away, message delivered. In the ER. Stitches itching. Amaya gripped Elena's hand. This your dad's doing? Elena paled. Or rivals? Shadownet had teeth, now they're biting back. Discharge papers signed. They fortified. Private security. Penthouse sweeps. Love turned tactical, date nights with concealed carries. Kisses laced with I love you. Stay safes. Amaya resented it. The paranoia seeping like damp. We can't live like fugitives, she argued over takeout Thai. Your war's poisoning us. Elena's fork clattered. It's not war, it's fallout. Give me time. Time stretched thin. October's chill mirrored their cooling bed. Elena buried in legal briefs. Amaya in sketches of fractured lovers. A call from Reyes shattered the fragile peace. Voss? Off the record, your girl's name's on a watch list. Corporate espionage ties. Get her out of the city. Amaya hung up. Confronting Elena mid-shower. Steam curled like secrets. FBI called. You're toxic. Elena. We both are. Elena emerged. Towel slipping. Vulnerability stark. Run with me. Mexico, start over. No empires. Just us. The offer dangled. Seductive. Amaya imagined it. Beaches without bodyguards. Canvases under coconut palms. But roots ran deep, Mom's pride. Her rising star. And what? Fake names? Your double life's our new normal. Elena's tears mixed with droplets. Better than graves. November gale howled. Stripping trees bare. Elena's father summoned them to the family estate in the Hamptons. Gabled monstrosity on bluffs. Waves crashing like indictments. Victor Voss waited in the library. Fire crackling. Scotch and crystal. 62. He was a monolith. Silver temples. Eyes like Elena's but colder. Forged in boardrooms. Daughter, he greeted. Not rising. You've made a spectacle. Elena stiffened beside Amaya on the leather settee. It was necessary. Dad. The company's soul. Soul. Victor barked a laugh. We're not a nonprofit. We're survivors. His gaze slid to Amaya. Dissecting. And you? Rivera? Collateral in my daughter's tantrum. Amaya met it square. Love's not collateral. It's the only thing worth the fight. Victor's lip curled. Naive. Elena's always chased ideals, costing us millions. Shadownet? Child's play. But this entanglement. He slid a folder across. Photos of Amaya at warehouse drops. Timestamps damning. Leverage. Walk away. Or your girlfriend's exhibits become federal exhibits. Elena's hand crushed Amaya's. Dad. Quiet. Victor leaned forward. Resign the reforms. Marry well discreetly. Or I bury you both. The bluff hung. Atlantic roaring outside. Elena's voice trembled. I'd choose her over your throne. Every time. Victor waved dismissal. Sentimentality. You'll crack. They fled to the car. Amaya's blood boiling. He threatened me. Like I'm the help. You're not. Elena floored the accelerator. Bluffs blurring. He's bluffing, always is. But bluffs escalate. Days later. Amaya's gallery called. Exhibit vandalized. Traitor scrawled in red across circuit hearts. Police report. Corporate grudge. Elena raged. Pacing. I'll end him. No. Amaya blocked her path. We end this. Together. They plotted in whispers. Elena's final play. A full confession to the board. Leaks authenticated. Vostek force transparent. Redemption, she called it. Amaya scripted her TEDx talk. Art in the algorithm age. Weaving their story sans names. But redemption's price? Steep. Thanksgiving loomed. Family fractures raw. Amaya's mom hosted. Bronx apartment steaming with turkey. Aunts gossiping in Spanglish. Elena charmed. Carving slices with heiress poise. But her eyes darted to the door. Paranoid. Amaya teased later. Washing dishes. Haunted. Elena admitted. Suds on her nose. You. Scared. Amaya dried her hands. Pulling Elena into the pantry. But alive. With you. Their kiss was fierce. Shelves rattling. Mom banged a pot. Save it for the pie. Laughter bubbled. A brief oasis. But oases dry. That night. Elena's phone lit. Unknown. Handover tonight. Or the artist's next. Amaya saw it. Ice flooding veins. No more. Elena. Tell them no. I can't. Elena's face ashen. It's the cleaners, hired guns from Shadownet's old backers. They think I double-crossed. Then we go to the cops. Now. Elena's laugh was desperate. Cops? My dad's in their pockets. Trust me. Trust you. Amaya's voice rose. That's the problem. The fight exploded, words like shrapnel. Lies. This. You're killing us. Elena grabbed her coat. I have to end this. Stay here safe. Don't. But the door slammed. Amaya sank to the floor. Sobs racking. Mom found her. Mija. Loves a storm. But you steer. Steer? Amaya grabbed keys. Hailing a cab to the only coordinates Elena had whispered. Abandoned pier in Staten Island. Fog cloaked the water. Buoys clanging dirge. She crept along planks. Heart thunderous. Spotting Elena's silhouette by a rusted crane, briefcase at feet. Facing three shadows in hoodies. Drive, Elena said. Voice steel. As agreed. A hoodie sneer. Too late. Princess. Your little leak? Traced. Now we tie ends. Amaya's scream shattered silence. Elena. Figures spun. Elena's eyes widened. Horror. Love. Amaya, no. Chaos erupted. A hoodie lunged for the case. Elena kicked it into the drink. Splash echoing. Fists flew. Amaya tackled one. Nails raking. Street smarts from Bronx alleys surging. Run, she yelled. But Elena fought back to back. A pharaoh grace. Sirens pierced. Anonymous tip from Amaya's quick dial to Reyes. Hoodies scattered. One snared in nets of blue lights. Elena collapsed against Amaya. Bloodied lip. Ribs bruised. You came. Always. Amaya held her. Pier lights haloing. But as cuffs clicked on the captured thug, Elena's whisper chilled. It's not over. Dad's next move. Over. The word mocked. December dawned with indictments. Thugs spilling on Voss connections. Victor lawyered up. Empire teetering. Elena testified. Voice unflinching. I built ShadowNet to heal what I inherited. But secrets corrode. Amaya watched from the gallery. Pride warring with weariness. Post-trial. Media frenzy peaked. Heiress versus Empire. A queer love story? Elena fielded interviews. Amaya her anchor. Hands linked at pressers. Sketches selling out amid scandal. But love's afterglow fades. New Year's Eve. Times Square glittering. Elena proposed not rings, but a vow. Leave with me. Paris. Fresh canvas. Amaya's heart clenched. And Mom? My life here. Your life is us. Elena's eyes pleaded. Temptation tugged. But Roots whispered louder. I need time. Elena's smile faltered. Time's the thief. January bit with blizzards. Burying regrets. Elena dove into philanthropy. Vostech splinter for ethical tech. Amaya co-chairing arts grants. They healed in fragments. Therapy marathons. Weekend hikes in the Catskills where cell service died and truths breathed easy. I was addicted to the double life, Elena confessed by a campfire. Marshmallows charring. Control freaks high. You? My detox. Amaya poked the fire. And betrayal? That's detox too. Elena winced. The worst kind. But I'd bleed it out for you. February's Valentine's was quiet. Picnic in the penthouse. String lights twinkling. Elena unveiled a gift. Custom laptop. Engraved our code. No shadows. Just us. Writing the story. Amaya teared up. Pulling her down to blankets. Write it with me. Their lovemaking was reclamation, slow. Sacred. Bodies mapping forgiveness. But March brought thorns. Victor's countersuit. Painting Elena the villain. Amaya the gold digger enabler. Tabloids twisted. Billionaire's dyke drama. Amaya's mom shielded calls. But the poison seeped. Galleries hesitating. Friends whispering. One storm-lashed night. Elena broke. He's winning. We're hemorrhaging reputation. Cash. I can't drag you deeper. Amaya cupped her face. Thunder rumbling. Then fight smarter. With me. Allies emerged. Books. Feeding intel. Amaya's art collective. Crowdfunding defenses. April's trial loomed. A coliseum of egos. Elena prepped. Amaya sketching strategies on napkins like their first meeting. But betrayal's echo lingered. A leaked email Elena's. Post-raid. Cut ties with Rivera. Too risky. Amaya found it in Discovery Docs. Gut punched. Confrontation in the study. You plan to ghost me? Elena blanched. Draft never sent. Pinnock. Amaya. I burned it in my head. Drafts are thoughts. Amaya's voice splintered. You almost erased us. Elena dropped to knees. I'd erase empires first. Forgive this fool. Amaya pulled her up. Kiss sealing the wound. Last one. Swear. Swear. May bloomed verdant. Trial verdicts verdant 2. Fostech fined. Reforms mandated. Victor sidelined. Elena free. But scarred empire half. Soul quartered. They celebrated on that Soho rooftop. Full circle. Champagne bubbling. To reinvention, Elena toasted. To us, Amaya echoed. But reinvention itches. June's heat wave mirrored unrest. Elena eyed overseas offers Berlin startups. Clean slates. Amaya resisted. Exhibit deadlines chaining her. Go, she urged one sweltering night. Sheets damp. I'll follow. Elena's brow furrowed. Promise. Promise. July 4th fireworks burst. Mirroring the spark. But sparks ignite. Elena jetted to Berlin scouting. 2 weeks max. Amaya waved at JFK. Heart uneasy. Days blurred. Sketches of absent lovers. Mom's warnings. Distance tests. Mia. 2 weeks stretched to 3. Texts grew sparse. Deals heating up. Miss you. Amaya's calls voicemail bound. Panicked nod. She booked a flight. Landing in Berlin's drizzle. Elena's hotel vacant. Per desk clerk. Checked out yesterday. Mentioned Paris. Paris. Amaya's blood iced. She flew on. Eiffel Tower mocking.
Elena est pied-à-terre, dark.
Dust motes dancing. A note on the desk. Amaya. I can't stop running. The life chases. Forgive me. Love always. E. Betrayal's knife twisted fresh. Elena's double life? Not ShadowNet. It was flight heiress curse. Always one step from roots. Amaya crumpled the note. Sobs echoing in empty rooms. Back in New York. August sun scorched. Amaya burned Elena's gifts, laptop, dresses in a Williamsburg bonfire. Ashes swirling like goodbyes. Mom held her through nights. She was a chapter. Not the book. September's exhibit soared. Ashes to Aurora. Raw strokes of loss and rebirth. Critics wept. Rivera's pain. Universal. Amaya dated casually, a barista with tattoos. A curator with kind eyes but none stuck. Elena's ghost lingered in blue-eyed strangers. October winds whispered closure. A package arrived. Elena's scarves. A sketchpad filled with Amaya's portraits, from napkin scribbles to nudes fierce and tender. Letter enclosed. I ran to save you from me. But you're my horizon. Fever.
Berlin.
Amaya traced the ink. Heart aching. She booked no flight. Instead, a new canvas, 2 women on a pier. Hands linked. Facing dawn. Not broken. Evolving. November snow fell soft. Blanketing wounds. Amaya stood on the penthouse balcony. Hers now. Lease bought with exhibit windfall, watching flakes dance. Elena's number dialed itself, voice message. I see you in every aurora. Be free. Mi vida. Amaya deleted it, but kept the pad. Love's double life? Yes. But in the tearing. Truth bloomed human. Messy. Enduring. Winter's grip tightened. December's chill seeping into bones Amaya thought healed. The city glittered on. oblivious holiday markets hawking joy in red bows, while her world echoed with what-ifs. 29 now. Amaya had carved a niche. Solo shows in Chelsea lofts. Commissions from queer nonprofits. Her name whispered in art circles as the voice of resilient love. But resilience? It was a mask, cracked at edges where Elena's memory bled through. Mom noticed first. Over Christmas tamales in the Bronx. Mia. Your eyes, they're still chasing ghosts. Amaya shrugged, forcing a smile. But the plate blurred with unshed tears. Ghosts don't pay rent. Mom. I'm good. Good was a gallery crawl with friends. Neon-lit spaces pulsing with queer energy. Flings that fizzled by dawn. A tattooed sculptor named Jax caught her fancy once. Their night a tangle of ink and intent. But morning light revealed Elena's phantom and Jax's laugh. Too soon? Jax asked. Gentle. To everything, Amaya admitted, slipping out with coffee and regrets. New Year dawned crisp. Resolutions scrawled. No more double lives. Own the single. She dove into work, a mural for a Harlem shelter. Women of color entwined in vines of strength. Thorns and all. Brushstrokes therapy. Colors screaming what words couldn't. Critics lauded Rivera's evolution, from personal fracture to collective fire. But fire draws moths. January brought an email. Subject, Horizon Sketch. From evas@anonymous.route. Amaya's finger hovered, delete or devour. She opened, saw your Berlin piece in Art Forum. It hurts how you see me. Still running. But slower. Coffee. Neutral ground, Vienna? Vienna. Neutral as a minefield. Amaya typed back. Healing solo sport. Thanks. But no. Send. Block. But the what-if lodged. A pebble in her shoe. February's Valentines mocked with red hearts on subways. Amaya hosted an anti-romance party, black balloons, breakup anthems blasting. Friends piled in. Her ex-roommate from Bushwick, now a podcaster, a drag queen comic with timing lethal. Laughter flowed. Shots burning trails. But midnight tolled. And Amaya slipped to the fire escape. City sprawl a glittering taunt. A text-pierced, unblocked number. Happy non-Valentines. You're the art I can't unsee. Amaya's thumbs flew. Then stopped looking. But she didn't block again. Spring thawed the ice. March equinox balancing light and dark. Amaya's mural unveiling drew crowds. Activists. Artists. A familiar silhouette at the edge. Elena. Incognito in beanie and boots. Blue eyes unmistakable. She didn't approach. Just watched. Then vanished into the throng. Amaya's heart stuttered. But she spoke her piece. This is for the torn aparts. The ones who love fierce. Lose harder. Rise anyway. Applause thundered. Elena's gaze lingered in memory. April showers birth decisions. Amaya's agent pitched a book deal. Veils lifted. An artist's reckoning with love and lies. Memoirs paid. But bearing scars? Therapy in print. She signed. Pages pouring. Hook of the warehouse raid. Ache of the Paris note. Phoenix of solo strokes. Elena loomed large, the heiress. Unnamed but vivid. Draft shared with Mom. Too raw. Mia. Raw's real, Amaya said. Like us. May's warmth coaxed blooms. And blooms coaxed calls. Elena's voice. Hesitant on voicemail. Read about the book. Proud of you always was. Forgiveness is a chapter. I'm here. Amaya listened on loop. Central Park bench, her confessional. Ducks quacked indifference, joggers blurred past. She dialed back. Chapters closed. But epilogue? Maybe coffee. Brooklyn. My turf. Elena's relief flooded the line. Name the spot. The cafe was Bushwick neutral, exposed brick. Mismatched mugs. Queer flags fluttering. Elena arrived early. Same bob but softer. Lines etched by a year adrift. Berlin failed. Paris flings fleeting. Now freelancing ethical consults in Toronto. Running's exhausting, she admitted. Stirring oat milk. Turns out. Stationery suits me. Amaya sipped black. Steady. Good. I've been. Building. Exhibits. A life. Without the drama. Elena's smile wistful. You glow. I dimmed that once. Twice, Amaya corrected. Gentle sting. But light finds cracks. Talk meandered. Mom's arthritis. Vosteka's green pivot. Ironic. Amaya's latest. A series on double exposures. Dual portraits of self and shadow. Elena leaned in, eyed by the set. Frame us. Amaya's laugh surprised. Us is past tense. Is it? Elena's eyes searched. Vulnerable. I ended ShadowNet for good, testified against Dad's cronies. Clean slate. Amaya. If you'd. Co-author mine. The offer hung. Jasmine scented. Amaya traced her mug. Slates crack easy. Trusts the mortar. Elena nodded. Then mortar it. Slow. They parted with a hug, brief. Electric. No kiss. But possibility hummed. Summer simmered. June solstice longest day. Coffee became weekly, neutral evolving to charged. Elena visited New York for clients, crashing Amaya's couch. Boundaries blurred by wine and whispers. One humid night. Post-rooftop stargazing. City lights dimming constellations. Elena's hand found Amaya's. Miss this, she murmured. Amaya intertwined fingers. Miss the fight in you. Not the flight. Elena's sigh. Flight was fear. Of losing control, Daddy's shadow. Society's script for girls like us. Us, Amaya echoed. Testing. Lesbian heiresses and Bronx artists? Scripts ours now. Kiss ignited slow, tentative. Then torrent. Penthouse bed welcomed. Bodies rediscovering. Elena's scar traced anew. Amaya's curls fisted gentle. Dawn found them tangled. Elena's head on Amaya's chest. Stay. Trying, Amaya whispered. July's heat tested. Elena's Toronto gig demanded return. Amaya's book tour loomed. West Coast whirl. Distance dialed tension. Texts flirty. Calls fraught. Don't run, Amaya warned one pixelated FaceTime. Walking. Not running, Elena promised. To you. August airports became altars, reunions and layovers. Amaya in LAX. Elena jetting cross-continental. Book launch in San Francisco. Elena front row. Eyes shining as Amaya read The Warehouse Hook. Signing line. Elena slipped her a sketch. Their peer fight. Heroic. Healed. September equinox balanced again. Elena quit Toronto. Subletting in Brooklyn, Amaya's orbit. Not invasion. They co-curated an exhibit. Shadows and strokes. Elena's code poems paired with Amaya's portraits. Opening night buzzed, queer icons toasting. Victor's absence a silent win. But October winds unearthed old thorns. A tabloid dredge, heiress's secret flame, artist or accomplice. Paparazzi swarmed the loft. Flashes invasive. Elena shielded Amaya. Back off, she's mine. Mine. The word anchored. But storms brew. November's chill brought Victor's olive branch. Dinner invite. Family reconciliation. Elena wavered. Closure. Maybe. Amaya braced. Hampton's estate loomed. Waves indifferent. Victor. Frielier now. Post-heart scare. Poured scotch. I was wrong. Empire's hollow without blood. Elena's toast clinked cautious. Then build better. With us. Victor's gaze flicked to Amaya appraising. Not dissecting. The artist's got spine. Welcome. Warmth tentative. But real. Drive home. Elena exhaled. He saw you. Finally. December holidays healed fractures. Bronx feast swelled. Victor awkward but present. Carving turkey with gruff jokes. Mom's empanadas bridged worlds. Laughter genuine. New Year's. Times Square crush. Elena's arm around Amaya. Ball dropping like benediction. To single lives. Doubled, Elena quipped. Amaya kissed her under confetti. To us unveiled. January's resolutions rooted. Joint therapy. No vault vows. Elena's ethical firm bloomed. Consults for startups. Amaya illustrating campaigns. February's love letter. A co-authored zine double lives. Single truths. Queer stories crowdsourced. Spring's renewal mirrored theirs. April showers washed remnants. May's blooms framed proposals, not rings. But ringside. Elena on one knee in Central Park. Cherry blossoms shedding. Box holding matched lockets. A&E. Intertwined. Marry my mess? Elena asked. Voice thick. Amaya pulled her up. Yes in her eyes. Marry yours. June wedding whispered, intimate. Brooklyn Botanic Gardens. Under glass canopies. Aunts in vibrant saris. Voss cousin stiff but smiling. Jax the sculptor officiating with queer flair. Vows raw, Elena's, I promise transparency. Even when it terrifies. Amaya's I promise pursuit. Through every shadow. Rings exchanged simple gold. Etched with circuits and curls. Dance floor swirled. Mom and Victor swaying awkward. Friends hollering toasts. Elena dipped Amaya low. Mrs. Voss Rivera. MS. Everything. Amaya laughed. Pulling her close. Summer solstice crowned them. Honeymoon in Positano. Cliffs echoing first promises. No jets. Just fairies, no shadows. Just sunsets painted in Elena's app. Amaya's quick sketches. Fall deepened bonds. September's equinox. Book sequel announced. Mortar and Mortals. October winds carried exhibits abroad Berlin, where Elena once fled. Now reclaimed arm in arm. November snow fell gentle. Anniversary eve. Penthouse aglow. Fire crackling. Elena poured wine. 1 year. Still chasing. Amaya traced her jaw. Caught you. Keeping you. December's holidays swelled fuller. Families fused. Traditions blended. New Year's dawn. Ball dropping. Elena's whisper. To horizons shared. Shared. The word sealed it. Love's double life had torn them, betrayals barbed. Conflicts crucifying. But in the mending. Something humanistic bloomed. Not perfection. But persistence. 2 women. Scarred and soaring. rewriting the American dream one fierce, flawed kiss at a time. In the end, empires crumbled, but they endured. Human, after all.